Happy Tuesday. Checking in really fast. First of all, this is your gut nudge. Where are you at with your water? I'm feeling really tired and I was like, I'm behind on my water. So where are you at with your water? If you are on track, collect your gold star. Congratulations. I'm super proud of you. But if you were like me and you're behind, let's pound it like a frat boy and get some down the hatch, okay? Second thing, this morning I made a post about this book, The Energy Bus. If I can pick it up. You can get it probably at your library. You can listen to it on Audible. When I lived in Yuma, I listened to the CDs in my car when I drove my kids around because this is family friendly. It's told like a story. This is a really awesome listen if you are struggling with your mindset, if you're feeling really negative, if you're super quick to look through this filter of nothing ever works out or everything is hard or it's going to take me too long, you need to listen to The Energy Bus. And if it's been a while, this is your gut nudge. I want you to listen to it again. It's just, I love John Gordon's books, and it's 10 rules to fuel your life, work, and team with positive energy. It's really awesome, okay? So there's that. Next up, I want to talk about the new body block for beginners only. So I'm not a beginner, okay? I've been on this journey for a really long time, you know, but I think that this has such huge potential for so many of you. I was like, I'm going to do it in addition to 645. Yesterday was my day one, and I didn't do 645 because Shark Week was here, and I was like, this is perfect. I'll do something a little bit easier. I still went at my own pace, and I pushed myself. I lifted heavy for me, right? Because this is a personal journey, and you guys, I am so sore. And then today, after 645, I did day two, and yeah, it's an amazing workout. That being said, I don't want you to hear the fact that I am sore. I don't want that to dissuade you at all. I've talked to a couple of you who had a spouse or a friend, someone who has kind of wanted to work out, but it's intimidating, or you feel like it's just, you can't keep up, or you can't like move as quickly as they do, and they were able to do this program. So I'm really encouraging you to try this. If you have been away from a while, if you're recovering from a sickness or a pregnancy or an injury, this is a fantastic place to begin. There's no judgment. This is your journey. It's your pace. You don't need to be in lockstep with anyone else. You don't need to compare with anyone else. You don't even need to compare with who you were once upon a time, because who you are in this chapter and season is who you're meant to be. All right. And you can be proud where you're at today. It doesn't always have to be about the end goal. You can simply choose to do your best today, to not make excuses, and to just trust the process, okay? So if that's where you're at, if you have a lot of weight to lose or you're coming back from an injury, I really am encouraging you to try this. It kind of reminds me of Clean Week. If you've been around a while, that program, it was Megan Davies' program, and it's only 7 days long, and she introduces a bunch of different moves and to kind of help you figure out what program you want to do. But for beginners only, the trainer, she simplifies it so well, and I can't say enough good things about this program. So no matter where you're at, I think you should totally check it out. If you are doing 75 or hard or something, this would be a great second workout. Like I said, it's my second day and I can totally feel it. So try it, okay? Don't judge it. Don't judge yourself. You're just here to work on your journey, do the next right thing, and collect all of your wins, okay? Third thing, fourth thing, I don't know which number we're on. I want to talk about the importance of sleep, okay? So I know sometimes we are like, I need to get up earlier, or I need to sacrifice sleep. You guys, you can't sacrifice sleep. Sleep needs to be a priority. And it's often the first thing to go, right? Because once we get our kids and everyone all taken care of for the day, I know I can kind of go down a rabbit hole of like, well, now this is my time. And then you get up super early and you burn the candle at both ends, and that is not sustainable. That's also going to freak your body out and your hormones, and it's just not, I don't think it's a long-term thing that you should try and layer in. So if you're struggling getting your workouts in, my question for you is, what time of day are you doing it? Like, do you actually have enough time to do it? And secondly, if you have kids underfoot, I get it. That's how I started when I was doing my workouts at home. Everyone was home. They were all underfoot. And I'm going to tell you some things right now that might not sit right with you, but I'm telling you as another mom, this is how I had to do it. So in the beginning of my journey, I had no problem giving them tech just to distract them. I also had no problem setting down that boundary that like, this is something that mommy needs to do and you're welcome to do it with me, or you can watch me, but you are going to learn to respect this boundary. And obviously they're little kids, they're gonna get underfoot and they're gonna interrupt you. And I think the most important part is to continue to reaffirm that boundary that this is mommy's time. And as soon as mommy gets it done, then we can do some fun stuff together. And also just to give yourself grace and know that it's okay if it's interrupted. It's okay if they climb on you. It's okay if they scream or cry or whatever. Like, it happens with all of us. And sometimes we just get into this zone where we think our journey needs to look a certain way. And we think that our workouts need to be uninterrupted. And if we can't get it all done, then we have guilt or shame or something, okay? That was me once upon a time. And I'm just reminding you that if that is the season you're navigating, you're not alone. And it is worth showing up for. It is worth continuing to tweak and play with and figure out how you can make it work. I remember when my kids were little, like totally giving them a lollipop in the morning. Does that make me mother of the year? No. However, me being able to prioritize that time, me choosing to create that boundary with them so that they understood, because now they just know, right? Like, I work out every single day. They still come and talk to me. They still interrupt me. They still ask a million questions. But they also, like, it just is the way it is. Like, they just know that now. They expect me to do that. And if I don't, there's something weird or off. And so I just wanted to encourage those of you who are in that season of trying to figure out where you're going to put this or how you're going to get it in. I also want to remind you that some is always better than none. So if you are really cramped for time, it's really easy and tempting to talk yourself out of it and be like, well, I don't really have time, so I'll just do extra tomorrow, or I'll just forget it and do it the next day or whatever. And that's a really slippery slope, because those days, those obstacles, those things start to compound, and our brain, it wants to keep us comfortable, it wants to keep us stuck. It doesn't like new change and new discomfort. It's going to start to create all kinds of obstacles that are legitimate that can potentially derail you. So I'm asking you, even if you have 15 minutes, and maybe 5 of that is you're going to have to spend getting dressed, so that means you really only have 10 minutes. Don't you think that 10 minutes of you prioritizing your journey and you saying, you know what, I'm going to do my best, I'm going to touch it. Maybe it's just doing squats. Like, you don't even change your clothes. You're in your pajamas, you do some squats, or you do a push-up or whatever. Like, you guys, we have to allow those things to compound. We have to choose to highlight the wins and collect those instead of looking for these moments of time where it's all going to line up and it's going to be perfect and seamless, because that's a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream. Even now with my kids in school, there's still distractions and there's still interruptions, and that's just the reality of being human and working out. I think anywhere, if you're at a gym, there's going to be distractions. If you were like me, you're going to start, your busy brain is going to get going and all the things. So the moral of the story is collect your wins. Remind yourself, I want you to hear my words in your head, that some is always better than none and done is better than perfect. It's not a crash course in perfectionism. It's not about how quickly we can get from point A to point B. This is not even about the number or the size. It's about you changing your story. It's about you collecting your wins. It's about you being the leader in your life, and sometimes doing the uncomfortable thing. I'm not saying getting up early. I'm saying the uncomfortable thing might be creating that boundary with your kid, or allowing your workout to look a little differently and more interrupted than we want. That's okay. That's just real life. And that's why we're all here, right? We're living this life so we can live this life. So it's okay. I'm challenging you and encouraging you to look at it through a different prism, and to not hold yourself to such impossibly high standards if you're falling into that category. If you are like me and you're a work in progress and you're just going to take it one bite at a time, that's totally cool too. Speaking of bite at a time, I've gotten a couple text messages today. I love it when you guys text me and you ask me questions. I really do. I think some of you are worried you're bothering me. I'm much quicker on text than I am on Messenger. I think you all know that by now. But don't feel locked into a certain nutrition program. There's a couple options you have. There is Portion Fix, okay, which I am a devout lover of and did for many years, but it's not working for me anymore. So I put it back on the shelf temporarily, and I'm doing To Be Mindset. That is what I'm doing. I am doing it imperfectly. I have not watched all the videos, but that is what I'm committed to. It's what I'm doing, and it's actually really helping me, okay? So if what you've been doing is no longer serving you in this time, or you're stuck in this like loop and you're feeling like it's Groundhog's Day, I'm giving you permission, not that you need it, but I'm just reminding you that you can pivot, you can try something different and just experiment. It's not marriage, it's not a tattoo, right? Like try something different, see what you think, okay? Okay, is there anything else I want to tell you? I don't think so. Okay, so I hope you're doing awesome today. I hope you're choosing to collect your wins. I want to remind you that wherever you're at is exactly where you need to be. Okay, wherever you're at today is exactly where you need to be. And if you were like, no, it's not, well, then my question for you is, what are you reading or consuming with your mindset? What are you listening to? How are you moving your body? Are you following a program? And are you collecting your wins? Are you making gratitude and hype girling yourself like a part of every single day? Even if it's when you get into bed at night, the last thing you think about is going to be the first thing you think about in the morning. So if you're going to bed and your head hits a pillow and you're thinking of your to-do list and, oh, I should have done that, and this wasn't enough, and well, it could have been better if I'd done that. If that's your filter, the last thing at night, that will be your filter that you're waking up with the very next day. So I'm challenging you to be like, to literally spin it. How did I win today? What things can I celebrate myself for? I got 5 minutes of my workout in. I drank my water. I listened to Sarah's live. I logged my accountability. I texted a question. I took some time to have some fun. I prioritized my sleep, or I did something silly. Like, you guys, we need to be focusing more on collecting our wins and celebrating those and finding the joy in the journey, because it's not always a linear path. And so if you can find the joy and you make it a daily practice to collect your wins, it just makes it so much more pleasurable. And I think that what we focus on grows, right? So if you're focusing on the fact this is too hard and you're so far behind, well, guess what? You're going to get more of that versus, you know what? It wasn't perfect, but this is how I won. I was able to do this and I did that and I tried this, and I'm proud of myself for doing these things. We have to throw ourselves a parade, because sometimes if we wait for other people in our lives to do that, they just won't, okay? Okay, so I'm your biggest fan, but I want you to be an even bigger fan for yourself and highlight your wins, okay? Okay, great talk.